Hi, Christina. Hi, Missy.
Hello.
How are you?
Yeah, how are you?
Good.
Hi,
Hey,
Missy.
Ben.
Hey, Ben.
Hi. Hi, Bill. How you doing?
How are you?
I'm
Good.
I'm doing okay, thanks. Let's see. Okay. Well, we've got three. You know, Bill, somehow in the system that puts out the minutes, it's got you in as a committee member.
Uh-oh.
And
I forgot to vote.
I've talked to Christina about it, and she says, well, it's hardwired somehow into the system, and she has to do manual changes to fix it. So,
Oh, I think I know what's going on. Yeah.
but hey, you're welcome in any capacity you wish to serve on this commission. And I really appreciate your suggestion to the mayor to have, his staff or someone on his staff help us out with this levy.
Yeah.
It's overwhelming for me, I can tell you, and I don't think anyone on the commission really has the know it all for these sorts of things, and it's
and there are liability issues too. So
absolutely,
we can't do the wrong thing. So
absolutely. Yeah. All right. Who else?
So then I wanted to let you know that at our second meeting, budget meeting workshop, we got Zoom bombed. And what that means is a bunch of people have found the link to the meeting from around the world, and they all jumped on to just be troublesome. And we had to hang up, and Roxanne had to send us a new meeting request. And that's how we got rid of them. But the reason I mention it is I thought they were going to create a waiting room for all the meetings, including this one. And that's how you prevent people from joining that you really don't want in your meeting. And that wasn't done. So I'm telling you this because if it happens to us here, we're going to have to end the meeting. I said hi to Christina when I joined, but I don't think she's monitoring this. So I don't
Okay.
think we're going to have any option.
Well, I'm not, the progress that's being made here in Connecticut is really, really terrific, I think, with the virus.
Yeah.
My
Yeah.
hope is fairly soon we'll be able to go back to the old fashioned way of meeting in person.
Yeah.
You know, so
Yeah. Maybe
uh,
even next month. I mean, I guess we have to follow the governor's orders, but my
Yeah.
daughter is 19 and she can get her shot April 5th.
terrific.
Yeah.
That's terrific. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I think it said April. The governor was on tonight. He said April 1st, I guess they can start with everyone in the 16 to 44 age bracket. That's everybody,
Yeah.
every other adult, you know, which is
Yeah.
just fantastic. I think he and the the state administrators and so forth, just seems like they've done a really fantastic job. They're 2 months ahead
I
of what
agree.
the president was hoping for.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah. He wanted 100 million in 100 days, and we're what 60 days into his presidency.
yes, yeah.
Well, apparently
He-
I'm eligible starting March 19th. Hallelujah.
Cool.
Yeah, and I think he had said he wanted all states to have everyone able, you know, ready to get shots by May 1st.
Yep.
And, or, yeah, no, by the end of May, I think, so.
May
like
1st.
2 months.
Yeah. Well, yeah,
Papers
it
closed.
was the end of May, and then it was May 1st.
We're
So, yeah.
we're 2 months ahead of that schedule here in
Yeah.
Connecticut. So it's,
Yep.
it's,
Yes,
hi,
starting March
Lance,
Hi there.
how you doing?
I'm doing great, thanks.
Good, good. Well,
Hey, Ben.
who else is
Doug-
on?
I see Doug.
Oh, Doug? Good. How you doing, Doug?
I'm all right. How are you?
Okay, so we've got 4. Well, that's good. We've got enough for a meeting, so that's probably good news. How about Laura? Is Laura on?
I don't see her yet. I know she's coming.
Yeah,
both-
yeah. She texted me and said she would be on. So
Yeah, I saw her earlier. We both went and got sworn in today.
congratulations.
Thank you.
I wonder if there may be some other members that still need to be sworn in. I've got to go. What's that?
Laura just joined us.
Yeah. I know Ken is not going to be here. He's in Florida, soaking up the warm sunshine. So I advised him if he could stay there for at least another 4 or 5 days, because this weather is going to persist apparently on the side for the rest of this week.
Good thing we're all hardy New Englanders, right, Missy?
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Speak for yourself.
Laura,
I'm
come
getting
on.
there slowly but surely. I mean, this is
No,
my 4th year, so
Okay.
7 months and I'm back in the land of warm.
Mm.
Okay, hi Laura.
Hi.
Hello, Jay Peeler here on phone.
Okay.
Hey,
Who was that,
Alan.
Jay? I missed that. Is that Jay?
Right.
Jay's here. Yep. I just finally.
And Alan.
I see Alan too.
Thanks. Okay, my little screen here can only, I guess, hold 4 pictures at a time, so I won't see most of you. But I think we're ready to start. So I'll call the meeting to order at 7:01. And a roll call. I'm here. Doug is here.
Yep.
Laura. Lance,
Here.
Missy,
yeah.
Jay.
Yep.
Okay, and of course, Bill is helping get the virus shots out in Texas still. They need help. Connecticut doesn't seem to need help. They need some help down there, and he's providing it. And as I said, Ken is in Florida, so he is absent. All right, let's see. Regular members. Got 1, 2, 3, 4. So we need an alternate to be a voting member tonight, and I think, Missy, it might be your turn.
Okay.
Okay, so you you become a voting member for this meeting. Okay, has everyone received the minutes from the last meeting?
Yeah. Yes.
Yes.
Okay, good. Are there any changes, that modifications, additions that anyone want to suggest?
No.
All right, then I'll entertain a motion to accept the minutes as written.
I make a motion. Jay Peeler.
Okay.
I'll second.
Okay. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Hi.
Aye.
Okay, opposed? Good. It's passed unanimously. Next item on the agenda, correspondence, and I don't have anything there, so move along to committee reports. And Alan, are you here? Hello.
Yeah, do you want me to go ahead, Vin?
Yes, yeah, you're up for the committee Sawmill report. So if you could bring us up to date on that, that'd be great.
Okay, so I guess the most recent thing is that I polled the active volunteers, and then Vin and I corresponded yesterday, and everybody's in agreement that there should be no visitor season at the Sawmill again this spring. Makes sense. Certainly avoids complications of having to deal with masks or visitors not wearing masks and inside or outside the building. So I feel like it's the correct thing to do right now, and I think everybody's very hopeful that the situation will be very different in the fall, and that we'll be able to have a visitor season again.
I think it's looking pretty good for a fall opening when we're hopefully pretty much back to normal.
Yeah, we will be doing some work sessions this spring. I know some of the volunteers have been vaccinated or will be starting the vaccination process this week. In any case, there's a number of outside jobs that we can certainly work on safely without any complications of people working closely together. So we will be doing some work at the mill this spring. One of the things I had meant to do for tonight's meeting, and it totally slipped my mind, in part because I didn't realize today was the third Monday of the month already. But what I will do at the next meeting is have Vin circulate, or maybe include with the minutes package, the agenda package, a list of upcoming projects at the Sawmill for the next few years, and give people a chance to look at that prior to the meeting, and then we can kind of go through some of the projects. So at least so folks kind of get familiar with the scope of some of the projects and actually, kind of an itemized list. So we'll plan on doing that next time.
I think it's a great start for a long-range program plan for the sawmill where things are spaced out in some reasonable way that they could be accomplished. Financial aspects are spelled out at least to a order of magnitude degree. And that especially fits in with requests that we make to the town, for capital improvements. So I think it's something we've talked about and needed. I think as far as the Lester House is concerned, I think we should do something similar for the Lester House. And when we have our committee meeting, I think that's something that we can talk about, at least get started on that. And it's for the same, the same good reasons.
So Vin, I did have a question for you, and that's, I just wanted to confirm, did you send that project proposal draft to Preservation Connecticut? Just wondering if that, I think you said you had sent that, was wondering if you'd heard back anything yet.
Yes, I did send that.
Okay.
I sent it to Mike Perino, who's the circuit rider, as you know, that visited the mills, familiar with what we have there and some of the things we're doing. And I sent it to Aaron Fisk, who is the point of contact for the area of grants that this fits. Okay, and Mike agreed with that. He said those are if there's an interest here, those are the people that would have the interest. Now she got back to me, Erin, with an email, said she'd received it, thanked me, and said they needed to look at it. She hadn't really looked at it in detail, or maybe other people, and then would get back to us as far as interest, or perhaps if they have questions, to set up a virtual meeting with them to answer any questions they might have. So that's the status. Mike really said he's not really in the decision-making loop for those grants, or for any of them for that matter. But he definitely is willing, if they give us a go-ahead, he's still willing to help us out with the grant application. He'll review it for us, give us any suggestions, from his experience. So I think that it's kind of the status there. Oh, and by the way, I met with the mayor today, talk about issues at the Lester House, but he mentioned that he is quite enthusiastic about the sawmill, replacing the penstock with wood. He thinks that that's a great idea, and he's right behind our thinking. And if it's at all possible, let's get it back to what it was, originally, and it'll be something that's authentic as far as the mill goes. So I was happy to hear that.
Okay, yeah, that is nice to hear. Yeah, thanks for that, Vin, and thanks for the update on that project proposal.
Okay.
So one of the things that I did following Bill Salm's suggestion last time is, I mentioned there are several donated pieces of equipment that it makes sense to discard from the mill. And so it turns out that the mayor is the right person to talk about for getting those listed on govdeals.com, which is the auction site that the town uses. And so I will plan to do that.
Okay.
So I'll send the mayor an email with a brief description and the reasons that we think doesn't make sense to keep that equipment, and get guidance from him on the actual process of getting those things listed. And then the other thing that Jay brought up at the last meeting was, the possible need to have a small team develop a de-accession policy. And so I did send you an email, Jay, just indicating that I'll be the person from the Sawmill volunteer group that can help with that. So just,
Okay.
let me know whenever you want to get things
Okay.
going with that.
If I can ever figure out how to work the email on my, when it comes to things, even though I work with one all the time, when it comes to computers, I'm a klutz. And it's my wife's email account, and I did something I can't get it on my tablet right now, so I'll look at it a little bit later, and I'll get back to it, and hopefully we'll have somebody else to get on the committee so that we can actually come up with a policy that'll be for the commission-wide, because we also have to deal with stuff that may be donated to the schoolhouse as well, and that's under our. Whereas the Lester House, for the most part, everything that's movable is owned by the Historical Society. Okay, but thank you.
Well, now that we're talking about it, if it's okay with everyone, let's move that item 6 on the agenda, which has you in for Great Oak Part in the accession policy, and let's talk about it a little bit now. Laura, do you know you were put on this committee when you were absent last time?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You do know. Okay. Well, that's good. No, I think.
Yeah, volunteered.
Thanks, Jay.
But I mean, you're the curator and are familiar, I think, with the accession policy for the society.
Correct.
And so I really think, unless somebody has, another accession policy at a different museum or whatever as a starting point, I think the one that they have for the society, which was developed fairly recently. I know my wife was one of the people that worked on that, although I'm not plugging it for that reason. But unless there's something better, I think it wouldn't be a bad starting point. I find it's always helpful, if you've got an example.
For continuity's sake, too.
With kind of the same objectives to start with, rather than a blank piece of paper.
Yeah.
So I think that should be a big help. Okay, so we've covered that. All right. Any other questions on that for the Sawmill? All right,
Nope.
we'll move along to the Lester House.
Okay, Vin, I will go ahead and sign off unless anybody else has anything for me tonight. Okay. All right. Thanks so much.
Okay, thank you, Alan.
Good night.
Appreciate it.
Night, Alan.
All right, let's see. In the Lester House, we had that last windstorm, we had 50-mile-an-hour winds or thereabouts. It's a big oak tree that came down across the exit drive, blocked it completely for a day. However, Rebecca put in a call to our public works, and the next day they had it cleared out. So that was good. We found they're extremely responsive to any of those sorts of problems. Okay, and I think all of you know that we have a lead remediation situation at the Lester House, and we've been trying to get some at least ballpark bids for what it's going to take, and I've been on the phone with about, I don't know, 15 or 20 contractors, and I've managed to get 3 of them to come to the house. We have one quote, which is $20,500, but the proposal that was put in is so lacking in detail. I'm I'm not quite sure exactly what he's going to do for that. I had 2 other contractors in recently who have said they're interested, and I'm waiting for quotes from them. Now, these quotes just kind of give us in the town a ballpark number for what this is going to cost. But since I think all these quotes are going to be over 15,000, we are going to have to advertise it and go out for public, bids from
For bit.
whoever. And along those lines, one of the things I talked to the mayor about, that we need some help. And Bill at the meeting suggested that we get some help from the mayor's staff, which I think we need for this sort of thing. And he said that he's putting that together, and he thinks that I think there's a building group or department or whatever who has a lot more experience in this sort of thing, and competitive bids, how you put those together. And he said he thought they might be able to help us out with this. So
it's the Permanent Municipal Building Committee.
Yeah. I think that would be good, because I personally feel a bit overwhelmed with this, and I'm not sure that we have anyone on the committee who's done this sort of thing that could sort of drive the. So
the good news is you can choose a member from the committee or from the commission to be on the committee as your representative.
Okay.
Which I think is a good idea. You don't want them making all the decisions for you.
Yeah. That's good. So, well, we've got a certain amount of information to share right off the bat. I think that whoever is picking this up needs to kind of be briefed on what we've got so far and some of the history with ledge light and things of that nature. So, all right. Well, when our committee meets Monday, I hope, Lester House Committee, I think that's something we can discuss, and we'll appoint someone to go on that committee. Now, Missy has thrown her hat in the ring here, because we also need, besides getting the lead fixed, to fix the floors. We sort of decided, and every contractor I've talked to so far agrees with it, and Ledge Light agrees with it also. The best way to remediate the floors, and probably the cheapest, is to cover the ones that are painted old floors. There are a couple floors that were never painted. They're just bare wood. So we're free and clear on those. But the ones that have been painted, who knows when, assume there's lead, is to cover with carpet. Carpet, or Missy was suggesting maybe vinyl. Maybe some of these we could use vinyl. And I ran that by Ledge Light, and they said that's fine. That's acceptable. So we might end up with maybe a hybrid type.
I think after looking at the floors, especially the bedroom upstairs with all the humps, carpet's probably going to be a better solution, not only for that bedroom, but for the stairwell, because, even using the vinyl floor planks, there's no way to do the edge of the stair or the edge of the shelf that's right on top. So probably would be best to do carpet in that area.
Okay.
But again, in the mud room or in the laundry room, doing the luxury vinyl plank or the other vinyl plank would be a little bit more easy. It's especially for cleanup, coming in with mud and whatnot. It's waterproof and easy to clean. So just doing a hybrid mix of the two, I think, would be the best.
As I think recently the faucets And for the washer and dryer that are in that mud room, were leaking badly, and we had it fixed. But if you got washers in there, it's inevitable, that you're going to get water on the floor. So I think you're right. The vinyl is probably the best solution there.
Yeah.
At any rate, thanks for helping out with that. And Doug is looking into the possibility of renting an RV for the family to reside in while the remediation work and carpet laying is done. Doug, I don't know. I know you had made an initial contact. Do you have any news on that?
I did make the initial contact. I don't have a follow-up from them yet, so we'll need to check in. But these are neighbors of mine who have a large trailer available, and they had been talking about selling it off. They said that with a little bit of cleanup, it might be suitable for us. Elizabeth had wondered if it would be large enough for Rebecca's family. I shared what I knew with Rebecca, and she actually did a drive-by right within that time period about a week ago or so. And she thought it might do just fine. So we need to just hear back from the owners to see if they can help us out.
Yeah, that would be good. That might be hopefully save us some money there. So I know I got on the internet, just looked at rentals, and of course there's a million of them out there for these trailers. And for one that's 6, the lowest price I got, if you go by the month, was $90 a day.
Wow.
That adds up, because I think we're talking at least a month. And by the time you get furniture takes out and then back in and so forth, it might be closer to 2 months that the house would have to be vacated. And I think personally, I think this was Rebecca's idea. I hadn't really thought about it, but having them on the property while the house is unoccupied, I think is a positive. It's a positive thing, really.
It is, yes.
Leaving the house vacant, as we had it vacant for 8 months before, we have the current tenants in there. I was nervous all the time about something bad happening there. So I think there's some pluses to that solution. Okay, any questions on that? Well, I have a ton of questions, but I can't answer them at this time. But all right, thanks, folks. The last item. There was another group of young boys that were in the park at night, dark, came out with their bikes, and so the police did get involved. And some of them I think we've had problem with before, but the police gave them a 6-month no entry. You're not allowed on the property for 6 months as a punishment. Hopefully they learn their lesson. And I know another problem we have is somebody keeps stealing our signs. We put up some very effective no entrance signs in the road out of the Lester House because delivery trucks had been coming up by mistake and so forth. And those signs work extremely well, Rebecca said. Since we put those up, the wrong way traffic has gone to 0. But somebody stole one of the signs, just unscrewed it from the post and stole it. They stole the wrong way sign for the entrance some months back. And they've stolen a couple of our park signs that give the rules of the park. And I don't know what if anything we can do about it. The police have been informed, but what are they, unless they
I know.
body in the act, it's really pretty hard to track the perpetrators down. So
Especially since they're probably hanging in some high school or college kid's room.
that's exactly
That's usually what happens. That's exactly.
Maybe we start using screws that are not common. So instead of using like a Phillips head or a flathead, one of the hexagon type screws.
Hex screws.
That are common, and so folks don't usually have a tool for that.
That's probably where they are, but I don't think we could get a search warrant.
I know. I'm just saying that based on my memories of my college days, a number of people had highway signs in their dorm rooms.
Oh yeah.
Back in the days of the dinosaur.
It's something you did when you were that age and feeling. So I think we have to replace both of those signs because they were working. So it ends up costing us about $100 a pop. Is what we're looking at.
There are one-way screws that you can screw in, but you can't screw out. I think that's probably the right solution.
You got hit the nail on the head, Bill. Tony Sibilia, who we get the signs from, is what he's going to do from now on. Put them, and maybe we should replace the ones we have that are just screwed in with those screws. That'll at least make it a little bit more difficult for them to make off with it. So we will do that.
Yeah.
All right. That's all I have. Anything else on the Lester House? Got some Lester House committee people on board here, so.
Yep.
All right. Thanks. Okay, on research, Lance.
Yes. On the historic signs, I do have something to report. Missy and Doug and I have been communicating by email, and we had a Zoom meeting last week. And the big news is that I got in touch with a friend who's connected to New London Landmarks and another friend who's been working in Mystic with historic house signs. And each of them uses a guy in Ledyard to make their signs. So someone named Roland Foster. So we've gotten in touch with him. We've looked at his signs. It turns out he's done even more than we thought at first. He's done signs for the Lord's Point neighborhood of Stonington. He even has done a couple signs for Gales Ferry. So Roland, he does good work. We've looked at his signs. He also charges a little less. He said he charges about $85 a sign. Whereas looking online at some of the companies that are doing this region-wide or nationwide, they're a minimum of $125. So this is exciting. I think we found the guy that we want to work with, and so Roland, he doesn't communicate by email, so he prefers snail mail. So the latest development is I sent him a packet, and he seemed gratified that I'm happy to do this, and he's going to make a prototype of the design that we all kind of liked at the last meeting of the whole committee, with the a kind of a shadow image of the Ledyard oak behind. So, we're going to give him a little license. He'll make a prototype, probably just on cardboard first, and we could look at it and say, well, maybe the lettering a little bigger or the color a little different, but no, it's an encouraging development.
That's good. Sounds like my kind of old-fashioned guy.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know if we've covered this or thought about it much. Who do we think should pay for these signs? Do we think the homeowner should pay for them?
Yeah, I had always thought all along the homeowner should pay. It just seems natural to me. But some other towns have done it differently. In New London, where they really want to encourage people to rehabilitate their houses, they started out by giving away signs as kind of a prize if someone did a good job in rehabbing their house. But then it turned out to be so popular that people wanted their own, and people have paid for their own. And Mystic, my friend I talked to who worked with Roland on developing a different design said, she and her neighbors paid for them themselves. So, I mean, that's just a normal thing. So that was my first thought. Now, if there's money for us to, subsidize them or think of some other different way to do it, that'd be great. But, $85 isn't so bad, really.
I think in our charter or rules of procedure in this area, I think our responsibility is, as it's spelled out, not in much detail, but to assist people in, dating their house, getting the information together that would, warrant us, and it would be accurate. And I think that's something, we can do. We can help.
I think we should definitely promote the idea. And we're talking to Missy and Doug last time. I thought, we should think of a catchy acronym for this. The Historic House Plaque Initiative or something like that. If we get the word out, I think people will want to do it. If we get nice signs, I think they're going to look beautiful, and people will want them, I hope.
Now we have one of our first homeowner who was interested in a sign on the commission here. Missy, what do you think about who pays for them? It's not a lot of money either.
No, I think it's reasonable for the homeowners to pay for them. What I think we discussed last time was potentially for some of the historic businesses or businesses that are in historic properties, maybe funding those just as kind of advertising, so to speak. But I don't personally have a problem paying for it. I don't know how everybody else would feel, but that's where I'm at.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think at some point we probably, when we get the prototype and we're ready to go, we maybe ought to have a position for the commission and vote on what policy is with respect to that. That's the point.
And the other thing we could probably do is maybe put out a survey and say, hey, what are your thoughts? Is this something that you would buy? How much would you be interested in paying? That sort of thing. And if we need to subsidize some of the purchases, maybe we look into doing something like that. I don't know. Just an idea.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thanks. Thanks, Lance. All right. Preservation report. Center School is not here, so there's no report for that. And Godino Park and Accessions, we've talked about. Jay, anything to add?
Nothing new to add. I mean, it's still, I'm hoping to get out to take a walk around the Great Oak site to see if my idea is feasible, and then also walk around a little bit to see about, get an idea so we can try to get together with the various scout groups and about, getting sometime having a day where we have, help, get a bunch of people out there to help clear the trails, get the brush cleaned up. And like last year when we went to check out that, for lack of a better term, hobo camp that was out there in the woods, I noticed that one of the trails was blocked by a tree that people just walked over. That's something we should think about, maybe, if not removing completely, just notching out, so that notching the pathway out of it so that people can actually walk around. But maybe do a walkthrough with people that do that, and that we know that, his name escaped, to the fellow that's always at the house meetings that walks the trails every day. To find out what, ways to, improve the experience, because it's, in some cases, sometimes it seems like the trail is almost non-existent, but of course, that's when last time I walked, it was the fall, and that's usually when the trail is usually non-existent because of all the falling leaves. But I'm hoping to get out, take a look around in the next couple of weeks now that the weather's warming up, and we're not going to sink into oblivion in the sludge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I know. Rebecca had mentioned there a trail that runs along, kind of parallel to Vinegar Hill. She said there's a couple of small or medium-sized trees that are across the trails there.
Yeah. Yeah.
My feeling is, if there's something across the trail, we want to take it away. I just think about people my age and older walking, and trying to step over it and then tripping and falling, and then the town gets a lawsuit.
Yeah. I know.
All right, we can Jay, if I would like to, when you're ready to go, give me a holler. I'd like to come along with you. And I think in terms of a work party, if the Lester House Committee meets next Monday, I think we can see if we can get a few people for a work party to go take care of whatever's out there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Thank you much.
Yep.
Social media, Laura, anything new?
Nothing new right now.
Okay. I was going to ask Bill. Bill, did you see the promo that's on the town website for the commission and the Lester House?
I think I did, Vin. I'm going to have to go back and look.
Okay.
But I think I saw something about that. Let me go look. I'll do it right now.
Yeah, it's a short one. It's only like 90 seconds, but I think it gives a very, whet your appetite kind of a feeling, at least when I look at it, and that's the purpose, really, try to interest people, and hopefully we can open up before too long.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, that covers the committee reports. Any old business? No? Okay. Any new business? Okay, hearing none. Someone could move to adjourn.
I so moved, Jay Peeler.
Okay. Second?
Second.
Missy seconds. All in favor, raise your hand, say aye.
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 Opposed? Okay. Hey, Bill, we looks like we lucked out. Didn't have those hordes of people trying to take over.
Yeah.
Here, so that was, well, maybe they're not that there are that many that are interested in historic stuff. I don't know.
Yeah. Who knows where they get their information? For those who hadn't heard, one of the town budget meetings got Zoom bombed last week. So so we now start all meetings with a waiting room, so you have to be allowed into the meeting. And I was surprised
Yeah.
That didn't happen at our meeting, but we need to. So
Yeah.
What
It was
what
fun.
exactly is Zoom bombed?
a Zoom bomb is when a bunch of people get your meeting link and they join your meeting.
Just for
They have
kicks.
just for fun. And they claimed they were with Price Waterhouse and they were doing a random audit the town. And I said, yeah,
Okay.
name one person in the town. Oh, no, this is a random audit. You're going to have to, we want to do the number crunch.
You got to give them points for
So-
creativity. That's fun.
Sure.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Yeah.
They're out
So-
there.
yeah, I think our
Or-
next meeting, we're probably going to have a waiting room.
Yeah.
Funny.
Yeah.
But I mean, by town ordinance, we have to have open meetings, right?
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
Yep.
All right, folks. Thanks a lot. Have a, have,
All right. Good night.
Night,
Have a good
everybody.
weekend.
Bye,
Right.
folks.
Good night.
See.